Welcome to the Pittsfield chapter of UNICO, celebrating over 30 years of unity as an organization, neighborliness to the community, conducting ourselves with integrity, offering charity to those in need, and always looking for new opportunities to serve.
The word UNICO comes from the UNICO, Italian for unique. It's also an acronym for unity, neighborliness, integrity, charity, and opportunity. Dr. Vastola in Waterbury, Connecticut wasn't allowed to join a club in Waterbury. Even though he was a medical doctor, it was because of his Italian heritage. So he wanted to start a chapter where he could be part of an organization that was accepting of Italian Americans. Our motto is service above self. We believe that we're in this organization because we're proud of our Italian-American heritage and because we want to help others.
I was sitting in 4 western counties as a judge, and when I got into Springfield in that area, they had a UNICO, and they wanted to increase the number of UNICOs. Now, it went through my head, now look at Rudy, you've gained an awful lot, and you have not contributed anything. What are you going to do? I looked for clubs to join. This was a method by which you can give back to the community. We had a meeting at the Stanley Club. There were quite a few that showed up for that. Those that belonged to other Italian clubs said, hey, come on, we got enough. And I said, oh, I think we've had it.
There was resistance to bringing another Italian organization in the community. There was some strong feeling, and we got some pushback on it.
Going out, somebody walking with a cane said, why don't you give it a try? It was Basil Patrica, I think, that said that.
I started UNICO in 1989. I was one of the first members of the club. Back in the day when we used to meet at the Stanley Club, there was probably 12 of us at the time.
Here we are, some 30-odd years later, a very successful chapter of UNICO, doing many great things in the community, probably has the highest visibility of any Italian-American organization in the greater Berkshire County for all the things we do.
I was the first president, and they came from Springfield and Westfield and Boston, and it was quite a thing, the starting UNICO in Pittsfield. But the people who took it on are the people who should get all of the credit. They had done marvelous, marvelous work, in my opinion, over the years. They have touched every charity that you can possibly touch.
In 1987, Judge Sacco asked me to join UNICO. I believe there were probably only about 50 members at that time.
When I got in, I think there was 125 members and no women. And today we're, I think 50% are probably women.
There was a different climate socially. You got to remember, the mothers, the women stayed home and took care of the kids. Then they said, well, women, now listen, UNICO, oh no, I mean, what are we going to do here? Where are we going? That became such an issue, a heated issue.
The national charter of UNICO didn't allow women, and it became a big debate at the national level. Here we were always Italians fighting discrimination against Italian Americans, and it was my feeling and also Judge Sacco's feeling. We were 2 strong members as proponents of women coming into UNICO.
Here you had women who wanted to come in and contribute, and let me tell you, I could be here all day telling you what they contributed. So much. There
were several years that they voted it down, and it just barely passed. I think it was slightly over 1 vote that allowed the national charter to bring in women. It wasn't fair. As I said, we were fighting discrimination against the Italian Americans, and we felt that we were discriminating. You shouldn't eliminate people who want to contribute, people who want to give to the community. We're Americans. And UNICOs are doing so much.
I became the first woman of UNICO in 2002. I was approached and asked to join their UNICO chapter because they couldn't be in a club that didn't have any women, is exactly what I was told. And I was like, well, okay. The women have done nothing but enrich this organization. I can't even tell you how amazing they are. We are. Oh, we are. Yeah.
We all do a great job, I think, just working together and trying to have fun.
Being the first woman president was an honor, and I had a great board that was very supportive and helpful, and just the camaraderie of the organization and its members that supported a first woman president was memorable.
In 1987, I came here as pastor of Mount Carmel All Souls with Father Carlo Bevilacqua preceding me. And at that point, Judge Sacco, I believe it was, approached me to take over the chaplaincy that Father Carlo had held all those years. I looked at him and I said, you know, you're looking at a guy who is 2/3 Irish and 1/3 English. The only part of me that's Italian is by osmosis, but all right, let's do it. That was 28 years ago. I'm just totally blown away by the dedication, the charity that is exhibited here in UNICO.
I think UNICO is a little different in that it gives a lot of authority and power to its chapters, but we still are a national organization. We have a lot of national charities, and we give direction through our office to the chapters, but we leave the chapters alone to do whatever they want. They can give to any of the charities that they want. They can work all they want.
I was the president twice. The first time I became president, it was just an honor to be able to continue the legacy of the former presidents.
My role as a district governor is to be the conduit to organize the chapters, have quarterly meetings, and then be the conduit to the national office with any concerns, ideas, or any help they may need. And hopefully at the end of my term, I've made a difference.
There are over 100 chapters in about a dozen states, and we have about over 5,000 members nationally. We are known as the largest Italian-American service organization in the country. And about 5 or 6 years ago, we had an opportunity to go to the Pittsfield Installation Dinner, and I was very impressed with it. And over the years, I've become very good friends with a lot of people from Pittsfield.
One of the things that was really successful for us in the formative years, in the early years, was a charity organization that we became involved with, Make-A-Wish.
I had asked what UNICO was, and my friend had said that it was an Italian service organization, and that's all I really had to hear. For me, I said, okay, Italian, I'm in. And as I got involved at that time, and I'm sure in these interviews you'll hear, we were involved with Make-A-Wish.
I was in 7th grade, and I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. 2 gentlemen by the name of Dom Sacco and Fran Curley actually both reached out to me, and they kind of gave me the whole overview to UNICO, the Make-A-Wish Foundation. They said that they were going to give me a wish, and I loved the Boston Celtics, and I loved Larry Bird. And they surprised me, and they said, Larry Bird wants to meet you. I was in tears, joyed, flabbergasted. I couldn't even believe it. And the best part was that I was going to retire his jersey in the Hartford Civic Center, and which I did, and I was on the court, and it was one of the best things that I'll never ever forget.
We provided many, many wishes to children in need. Almost every charity in this area come to UNICO to help with fundraising, and our members do an incredible job, and we praise them for that. And it's a great effort on their part, and it's a great receptance of the community and the many dollars that are raised for purposes of each of those organizations.
NAMI's been in the Berkshires for 35 years, and I still say it's a hidden secret in the county. So NAMI is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. We're part of a state and national organization. Our focus really is to work with the families and caregivers who have a loved one with a mental health diagnosis. We love UNICO. So our big event that UNICO has been fantastic and continues to support is our annual Cupcake Wars. They always prepare our meals, and they help support us throughout the evening with different things that we may need assistance with.
The events that I enjoyed working with were numerous, but some of the ones that were nearest and dearest were the ones where we supported other organizations in raising money. The camaraderie of our kitchen crew being together and cooking, and the laughing, and just feeling like you did so much for the community.
The local chapters also helped guide us on writing grants for UNICO National, which we've received 2 to help promote some marketing that we needed to get done in the Berkshires. And then UNICO also partnered with us for one of our walks, and we honored UNICO at that walk for all the work that they have and support that they have given us over the years. For community members and for agencies out there to reach out to UNICO, see how you can help UNICO, and then how UNICO can help you, because I think it's a great organization to partner with, and you can really go far.
I have been doing Special Olympic programs, coordinating programs like basketball, bowling, and we did have baseball for a while in Pittsfield. I started with them probably 14, 15 years ago when I brought my son into the program. He is 30 years old now, has autism, and that's why I brought him into the program. It's not about always winning, it's about helping everybody out and finishing at the same time. And that's more important than being the star. The UNICO is amazing. Peggy Harner, myself, and 2 other women had done a first luncheon about 13, 14 years ago. Peggy talked with someone in UNICO who said, we'd be willing to come and help you. Instead of us doing all that, they do fundraising to buy the food, to cook it, and they serve it, and they clean up the kitchen all on their own.
Working in the kitchen is an experience.
These people have fun doing it, and it's just a wonderful example of how people can actively and joyously take part in doing good things for other people. Again, the UNICO motto to give service above self, and enjoy doing it.
Without them, we may not still be having this. So we truly appreciate all their efforts. When UNICO does their fundraising, they do like the wine tasting and many other events. I highly recommend that people go to these events because they help to put UNICO in a spot where they can help other people and other organizations, and it's just such a big benefit to be able to do something like this luncheon, knowing that they come in and do what they do.
Elizabeth Freeman Center has been providing leadership and services to address domestic dating and sexual violence in Berkshire County since 1974, and we never close. We work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We reach about 2,600 people throughout Berkshire County every year. We are busy, and we should be busy. UNICO is great. UNICO's fun too. I love the wine tasting. UNICO has put its resources, faces, and their feet to the street for at least the past 5 years in our Walk a Mile march, community march against rape, sexual assault, and gender violence. In our work, we believe that it takes a community to make change, and UNICO is making change and is making a difference.
We ran a liquor pop program. I believe it was back in 1995. We were approached by Chief Jerry Lee at the time, the chief of police, and he had needed money for seed money for Kids Place, the Children's Advocacy Center, and so I said, sure. So I talked to Joe Bonaquisti, and he said that, what if we have the kids sell like 4-inch lollipops, to go through the school systems and see if they'll agree with us. So we went through all the schools in Berkshire County, all the elementary schools, and we raised almost $10,000 for seed money for the Kids Place.
My wife is a nurse, and there was a nurse at the hospital who was involved with Relay for Life. Approached my wife, and she approached me, and I got UNICO involved in the 24-hour event Relay for Life.
In 1995, Joe Bonaquisti, Joe Zavatero, and I came up with the idea, if you will, to have a Berkshire County Baseball Hall of Fame to honor Berkshire County baseball players and to offer scholarships to needy high school students within the county. In 2009, we incorporated the softball players, so we became the Berkshire County Baseball and Softball Hall of Fame. What I can tell you is very proudly that in the last 24 years that we've been in existence, the Hall of Fame that is, 125 men and women have been inducted into the Hall of Fame, and we've raised over $97,000 that went to scholarships. The scholarships go solely to girls and boys of high school age in Berkshire County.
My son was deceased in 2003, and we thought we'd like to continue his legacy by having a scholarship in his memory. We had a golf tournament of our own every year, and we give it out through UNICO.
I have been involved in the scholarship committee, I don't even know how long. I collect all the information, put it into an anonymous spreadsheet, present it to our committee, and they choose the 2 Baseball Hall of Fames and then the 10 UNICO scholarships. We give away $12,000 to $13,000 a year. Every year. A few years back, though, I do want to tell a story about how we received a check for $1,000 from one of our recipients who wanted to give back to us, which was like the greatest thing, you know, how great is that?
I earned a spot in the Baseball Wall of Fame about 2 or 3 years ago. I played baseball at Wesleyan University in Middletown, Connecticut. I was head coach at Berkshire School for many, many years, and then when I retired from there, I was the head and then assistant coach at Monument Mountain. I coached the Southern Berkshire American Legion team. So I've dealt with kids pretty much all my life. I always give a contribution to UNICO because I've just felt that what they do through the years to scholarships to high school students, I just think that's admirable, and just a little bit to help UNICO out.
My first thing I did as a UNICO member is we started the UNICO Golf Classic. There was 4 of us really involved. We were avid golfers up at Berkshire Hills at the time. I sat down and had a meeting and says, well, let's do something different that nobody else does. Let's do a golf tournament for the blue-collar guy, and we've probably done over $750,000 just in the golf tournament alone. Every year it gets better and better because we got such wonderful people that work on it, a big committee now. And
we really put a lot of effort now into the golf tournament, and we also now have a wine tasting and our Taste of Italy, which we've had for quite a few years. Taste of Italy is a fundraiser that is held in October. October is Italian Heritage Month in the state of Massachusetts.
We used to do all kinds of stuff to raise money. Our cooking staff actually started probably 25 years ago also. We used to take care of the hamburgers and the hot dogs at the Josh Billings. They started doing the small spaghetti suppers, and one thing kept getting bigger and bigger, more guys involved, and next thing we know, we're doing it for the community as charity projects. 4th of July parade was another one of our endeavors. We started at my house with bacon and eggs and maybe a few Bloody Marys, you know. We all got together and we up to the parade, we had a banner, and we marched as UNICO. And every year that seemed to get bigger and better because everybody wanted to get involved. And ever since then, we've been doing the balloons. And it's just another fun time we have.
We have national scholarships that the chapters can apply for. We are a big supporter of cancer research. We've given out $250,000 in grants to the Jimmy B Foundation over the past 13, 15 years. I think we're the only organization that has a plaque at St. Jude's Hospital. We support armed services, Cooley's anemia, mental health, food banks. And for a lot of these programs, the chapters have the ability to apply for grants that they can give out to the local communities. We don't keep any money for ourselves. We have very little administrative costs. Most of the money that we raise, we give out to different organizations and charities and scholarships. We raise and donate about $5 million a year nationally, and I don't think a lot of people know that.
Past President Kevin Dondy, one of his initiatives when he became president in 2011 was to start the ACES. The ACES is actually a UNICO national name for the youth side of UNICO. And really his idea was to maybe create some future Unicans, but more than anything, really pass on our belief of service above self to the next generation.
When I became president, UNICO National had, I think maybe for a couple of years prior, had started involving the youth of the members in an organization called the ACES. And it was time that we did as well. We started having meetings, and they brought in, I think, 11 or 12 ACES right away.
My sister and I came in together, and my dad and cousins had already joined, so it sounded like a great organization to be involved with.
My daughter Kate joined about a year ago. I'm very pleased and proud of that. She realizes that to give back to her community is important.
I do remember being younger and watching his contribution to the community and walking in the parade. That was always a fun time that we would spend together as a family. Those memories did influence me in becoming a Unican, just seeing how happy it made my dad to contribute to the community that I grew up in. Being a full-fledged member of UNICO is kind of exciting to me. I'm a mom of a 9-month-old, so anything outside of diapers and bottles is pretty exciting to me, but it's just something that I can add to the community where I grew up. I mean, I've moved to Boston, I've moved to North Carolina, but ended up back here where my roots are, and it's just nice that I'm finally able to give back to a community that's given so much to me in my upbringing. I've also become a member of the ACES. The ACES is kind of the younger generation of UNICO. I think that it is important to recruit younger members so that all of the good work that we do doesn't go away and it just continues and we just evolve and get better.
I'm very pleased that the next generation sees the UNICO service above self philosophy.
Well, I knew it was a really good organization and I love helping the community, and so just to give back feels really nice, and so I joined.
We also support UNICO with any community fundraisers or dinners. We do a couple other things.
My favorite's definitely the Pancake Breakfast.
Pancake Breakfast. In February, we do.
Oh, yes. We give Valentine's to the Greylock nursing home and visit them, and it's always really nice to see the smiles on their face.
We do a lot of little projects throughout the year, and then at the end, the Pancake Breakfast is our big deal.
I think the ACES are really good for the community because it's younger kids, but we're still already learning how we can help our community and give back to them.
And they raised an amazing $1,000, which in our experience is really, really good for that kind of community fundraiser. Constantly gives us inspiration and hope for our future.
These people have worked with us on all our meals and help pick up, and they're just a great asset to our organization, as well as it perpetuates the Italian culture. We know to this next generation, we feel comfortable that these people will stay in it, will grow with the organization, and the culture will continue.
Nobody gets paid, nobody earns a dime, and we get enjoyment out of giving to our community and helping people in need, and it means a lot because we are giving back to our community, and I think that's the key.
It's as good an organization and as effective and productive as any organization in this community. And that makes me feel very happy.
Every Unican, they contribute to the community by not expecting anything in return, which I think is very unique to our organization. Service above self means doing things for others that might not be as fortunate as you or don't have the resources that you have. It's about putting others before yourself.
Well, it's important to our community because it helps people that need help, and it's just nice to be part of that.
As you can see, the UNICO of today isn't much different than the UNICO of the past. I remember when I first joined UNICO back in 2009, I had a conversation with longtime member William DeTore, who said, you know, UNICO is all about having fun and helping people along the way. And I think that still holds true today.
It's very humbling at times. It's very rewarding most every time we do something. What we give back to, you know, cancer research, mental health, scholarships. These are all things that, you know, our community needs support in, and I'm very proud to be a member. At the end of it, we actually change people's lives. It makes me feel good to give back. I'd rather truly give than receive.
I've been to most of the chapters around the country, and I can safely say that Pittsfield's one of the best chapters in UNICO. It has one of the largest memberships. We all have the same outlook on life, that we want to help others, and we're proud of our Italian-American heritage, and so it's been a great joy for me to be a member of UNICO.
I can't thank UNICO enough, especially for Fran and Dom taking their time to reach out to me when I wasn't really in the best part of my life. I was very eager to get back into, to give back from what they helped me with. Just being part of UNICO is one of the most fulfilling things in my life. The people that are part of UNICO and the organization itself is nothing but kind, compassionate, outgoing, will give up anything to help anybody else.
We've helped do some tremendous fundraisers for people in need and for organizations in need. Our motto, service above self, is what we do, what we aim for.
I think we do a great job for the community, doing fundraisers for people, our scholarship program, our charity board, our board of directors, charities. I'm just, proud to be a member.
We just grow together. We just enjoy what we do, and everybody works for everybody, and we just have a fun time doing it. The more we do, the more fun we have, and the more money we can raise for the community.
It's about helping others that otherwise don't really have anyone else to turn to. We're just kind of a shoulder for everyone else to lean on.
The bottom line is the energy, enthusiasm, and camaraderie to work together and help others is always there. As I always say, respect the past for the path they've paved, embrace the present to continue the mission, and challenge the future to carry on the torch.
You all have contributed so much. It's really a blessing. Those are the things that make life worth it.